Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Right after this video, I'm posting a video that's going to talk. It's actually going to be the Texas Democratic Party chair, Kendall Scudder, talking about what his three objectives for the Texas Democratic Party is. This is actually a series. There's going to be three videos, and I'll do this, and then then the video will come out right after it, and then that's how I'm going to do it. It's called formatting issues. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over what it is he's going to be talking about. So, the number one issue, and if you have watched any of my videos, you know I am data driven, and data is the most important thing you can possibly have in a campaign. I'll be honest, it's data first, because if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. It's facts. This is the way it is. You need to know what your win number is. You need to know, what your, you know, you need to know, how many doors, how many votes, how many, where are the votes? What's the geography? All that stuff's in your data. And without data, there's nothing. But one of the issues that he's really most interested in as the Texas Democratic Party chair is the fact that he wants to make sure that the data is being shared. And I'm mixed on that a little bit. I'm also I think Van's problematic. I actually have a video based off a New York Times article that in 2024 the DNC had to pump in a ton of money into NGP Van to keep it up and running. And it's been problematic for years. I mean, honestly, it peaked in 2012 as far as functionality goes, and they've been kind of patching ever since then. So I think our biggest problem as far as data goes in any of the states, regardless of, is in the Democratic Party, generally speaking, is Van does not all versions, and that's the other thing. Every state uses a different version of Van. Not all states have access to GPS monitoring of the of where your canvassers are. So you end up with a kind of you just don't. I mean, I know where they are because I audit and I do a lot of steps that shouldn't be necessary. But what we have is a problem with, we have bad actors in canvassing, and the only way to really, be able to identify them cleanly, same day, really same hour, is if there's some kind of GPS tracking. It's not standard for all Van. I've used it in Virginia a little bit. And that's probably the only state I've actually used it in. The other states I've worked in didn't have that as an available option. So data gets you there, but operations also gets you there. So I feel like there's that we need to take this data and really find a new. They're called CRMs, or a database management system, to help us really weaponize it, because I really feel like we're leaving meat on the bone every cycle. Real quick, like and subscribe if you wish to support this channel. I have PayPal at CLSP Politics. 2, coordinated messaging. So Democrats are a big tent, right? And that's part of the solution and part of the problem, right? It's a double-edged sword. Yes, we got a big tent, which means the potential for voters is huge. Also, everybody's pulling in every direction, and we saw a lot of that in 24. And I think he's wanting to focus on a game plan that has everyone kind of. The electeds handle the messaging for the most part. They're the one, and he'll talk about this. They're the ones that actually do turn the key, and and also all politics is local. So messaging that works in Dallas might not work in Austin, might not work in Houston. or Brownsville. I'm sure every place has their own problems, and Texas is so big that every city is going to have their own issues. But there should be some fundamental stuff that we all agree on, and then all politics is local after that. And then you shouldn't have conflicting messaging. Anyway, messaging is an issue, and I'm glad that he addresses it because this is not a new problem. And then, more importantly, coordinating with our partners. A lot of times, a good friend of mine who used to do a lot of phone calls through Van and stuff, he'd get a hold of somebody. He'd be like, "Please stop calling. You're the fourth call I've got today." Well, he wouldn't have called that person had he known he'd been called 4 times already. And understanding who's been called when. Um, Even when you're knocking on doors, it's okay to knock on the same doors different days because you're going to find different people home. Statistically, you will find, and you're very unlikely to knock on the same door at the same time on the same day. And if you do, that's when the problem really happens in field. And I can speak to field directly. And when we're in Wisconsin, we go through a lot of trouble to let people know which wards, which are what they call precincts up there, which wards we're in. So that way we're not stepping on each other, because it's important that we maximize the amount of people that we're talking to and the time we've got available. And if somebody's already spoken to somebody that day, maybe they can get a reminder in 2 weeks. That'd be cool. But, and there's clues, especially in field, you'll see a door hanger that's been on the door that's not your door hanger, but is a progressive organization or an environmental group or somebody. And you're like, all right. And then that's the kind of stuff that gets reported back to someone like me, who's the data director. So coordinating is incredibly important. But I'm right after this, the video is going to post of him speaking about these issues, doing a better job than I'm doing, I think. And I just want to remind everyone, like and subscribe if you wish to support this channel. I got a PayPal. All right. I hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye.